So after years of rivalry, going back to the amateurs, Haney and Ryan met in a 12-round pro fight to answer the question, who is the better fighter? In the end, it was a competitive mismatch with many what-ifs that followed the drama. One of the what-ifs was the weight, 143 pounds. Garcia officially weighed 143.2 pounds for the super lightweight title fight at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Unsurprisingly, Haney was on weight at 140 pounds. This is a really interesting number, this 143.2 pounds. I like to sometimes go and look up the biblical references to these numbers we find within the world. So this is one I looked up, and so we're gonna do a little Bible study right now, people, just a little. All right, so the weight was what Ryan came in at was 143.2 pounds. So we're gonna look at, this is Psalm 143, and we're gonna go to line 2, which says, "Do not put your servant on trial, for no one living can be found guiltless at your tribunal." Well, a tribunal is a court, people. Basically what this is saying, I think, is saying that no person is without sin within, when you go to God's court. We've all committed sins. So what we've been seeing throughout this entire lead up to this fight has been, Devin Haney basically acting as God, right? He's over here and he's judging Ryan constantly, saying things like, he's a drunk, he's a cokehead, he's a this, he's a that. He's just throwing around all these things that go outside of the sport. It has nothing to do, it could have something to do with the fight, but Ryan's not bringing these things up, right? It's Haney who's throwing this all at him, acting as he's the, the good guy, right? He's a great guy. He's perfect. He's without sin. So we're gonna go to Bible study right now. I'm gonna play this little thing. Bob's gonna read us some of Psalm 143. We're gonna read the entire thing right now. So we're gonna have Bob read this. All right. All right. Take it away, Bob.
God, hear my prayer. Listen to my pleading. In your constancy, answer me. In your saving justice, do not put your servant on trial. For no one living can be found guiltless at your tribunal. An enemy is in deadly pursuit, crushing me into the ground, forcing me to live in darkness like those long dead. My spirit is faint, and within me my heart is numb with fear. I recall the days of old, reflecting on all your deeds. I ponder the works of your hands. I stretch out my hands to you, my heart like a land thirsty for you. Answer me quickly, God, my spirit is worn out. Do not turn away your face from me, or I shall be like those who sink into oblivion. Let dawn bring news of your faithful love, for I place my trust in you. Show me the road I must travel for you to relieve my heart. Rescue me from my enemies, God, since in you I find protection. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your generous spirit lead me on even ground. God, for the sake of your name, in your saving justice, give me life, rescue me from distress. In your faithful love, annihilate my enemies, destroy all those who oppress me, for I am your servant.
All right, so I thought this passage, these Psalms were, this Psalm here was very fitting and relevant to the fight, and it's kind of crazy how that came up. That was the weight of the fight. This is the weight Ryan came in at. So it's kind of interesting that he's going through all these different problems and tribulations. This kid is now exposing possibly a ring. He's openly Christian, which is what these people really don't like. They don't like it, people. They don't like it. Haney is he's kind of part of that whole subversive thing. So he's out here pointing this out, and he feels like his enemies are coming to get him, right? He may come out after the fight and say things like, I'm playing around and all that. But I don't think he was playing around with a lot of this stuff. Some of it he was. He was going along with the image that Haney was building for him, because Haney acts as the judge. He's judging Ryan constantly throughout this camp, and so Ryan kind of used that against him. He took that gun and turned it around, used it on him. All right, so now we're going to look at a little bit of the press conference leading up to the fight, and all these weird, like, biblical like kind of symbolism I saw throughout this camp. I made a video about it, actually. I'll show you some of it right now. So here you see the pale horse. Ryan is wearing all white, right? This is like the color of purity. And a pale horse can symbolize death, symbolizes many things, but very biblical. Here's dancing with these red women. They symbolize danger, temptation, leading him away from what he needs to do. In this case, I mean, it could be many things. Ryan has children. Ryan is surrounded by people who want to use him and exploit him, and who knows what else, And from what I heard, Ryan's the one that set this all up, which is insane to think. This kid might be some kind of like genius or something. He does look a lot like Leonardo DiCaprio. Remember that movie, The Aviator? Yeah, that guy Howard Hughes. Yeah, Leo played him. Maybe Ryan's like that. And he seems to be kind of OCD sort of like that as well, with that whole nose thing.
Blueprints. Show me all the blueprints. Show me all the blueprints. I want to get this done right, so show me all the blueprints. 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 Show me all the blueprints.
He said after that was him joking around, but looked kind of real to me. Okay, you got Mario Lopez over here and Oscar De La Hoya acting as duality. You have the white and the black. They have Mario Lopez standing on I think he was on the left side of Ryan, and you have Oscar on the right. Okay, and I have this stuff about the temptation. Let's see a little bit more. I mean, this really was a lot like the confession. This is what I'm saying is very biblical, people, what was happening here. This was basically a confession here. Let's see this. We're going to go to full screen. We're going to watch some of the lead up to this fight.
First, I want to give glory to Jesus Christ. I want to lift the room up with the energy of inviting the Holy Spirit in here to lead what I should say. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to invite the Holy Spirit to come into this room and fill this room with peace and just to be really direct.
What the fuck happens to your voice?
So,
all right. So you see here, right, that this is Ryan basically saying a prayer, starting a prayer for the room. It's very positive. And what does Haney do? He comes in really disrespectful. He's cursing. I mean, this guy guy's always kind of claimed like he's religious. He's more religious than everyone else. But this kid is spreading, a positive message. He's literally saying a prayer, starting a prayer for the room. And this guy comes in and says, "What the f is wrong with your voice?"
I've been screaming for these promos, but I'm not even going to react. At the end of the day, I want to clarify some things.
Stop the coke, nigga. It's fucking up your voice.
Now stop the coke. It's fucking up your voice. You see, again, he's saying a prayer here, and the guy, all he does is disrespect him. He's been doing this for many, many years. Ryan's been a very respectful person towards Haney, but the dude, all he's got is negative energy to throw back at the kid. I mean, do you guys believe in karma? You believe in God? I mean, maybe there's a price to pay for this. Let's see a little more.
I want to clarify some things. I don't do cocaine. I will do a live drug test.
What do you do?
I will do a live drug test.
What do you do?
I drink and I smoke weed, and so has the majority of this room.
All right, so you see here, you have Haney dragging this whole drug thing into the room, right? He's the one passing these judgments. This has nothing to do with the fight. He's trying to damage this kid's character, throw all this dirt on his name, right? He's a drug addict. He's a cokehead. He's all these things. So what I think what happened is that Ryan played into this, right? Because Haney's not supposed to be judging him, right? Why is he judging him? He doesn't need to do that. He's not God, right?
So has majority of this room.
What kind of example are you for the younger generation watching this? Talking about you drinking, you smoking.
Weed is legal, bro.
All right, so now he's talking about Ryan is a bad example. It doesn't matter if Ryan is a bad example. Ryan is his own person. Again, one of the things it says in the Bible is do not worship false idols, right? Ryan is a false idol. You could see him. He could be your idol, but he's a false idol. Your idol is supposed to be Jesus, God. That's the idol. This kid is just, he's a flawed person just like you. And the thing is, a lot of people may worship him for the things that Haney is saying because they worship, man, because they can relate to it and they're okay with a low standard, right? They like a low standard. So they would worship this. But the Haney's over here saying you're a bad example. Ryan doesn't have to be your role model, okay? He's just a false idol. He's just a person just like you. He just has a lot more money. So obviously he's going to be more prone to corruption. So let's see a little more.
Bro, the younger generation look up to us. What are you talking about? Why are you trying to publicize you? Drink whatever you do.
These atheistic people are always throwing around this idea. This guy's supposed to be a man of God, supposedly Haney. He's always trying to promote himself. He's always saying these, these Muslim words. He speaks all English. I don't think this guy speaks any other language. But he's always, look at him. He's like pretending that he's the most perfect man in the world. And again, if he was really a religious person, he wouldn't be doing this in front of all these people. He's just trying to make himself feel like he's the better person. Look at Mario Lopez over here. He's all like, what the fuck? This guy's a douchebag.
Why don't you just go with the best dancer? Hit it!
I don't know what he's talking about. Anyways,
why are you trying to? It's young kids. Hey. It's young kids watching us. It's young kid watching us.
Mom, you good, Mom? Thank you.
Yeah, behind the scenes, Devin Haney seems to be really into the P. Diddy pool parties.
Yeah. Thank you.
People watching.
Yeah, that part. You finally got somebody raising your hand saying, I'm real. I'm like this. I do drink. I do smoke. Now what? It's okay.
And we're going to skip ahead a little bit because this is like a confession here.
I grinded and I earned everything I have today. I earned it. Nobody gave me a handout. I never had money. I'm really a small town boy, and then I just grew up as a man, and you start evolving, you start being a leader, and I just invite you to get to champion. 5 kids, 1 bedroom. This is what I'm saying. Like, I want to invite you guys. I'm gonna try to make it short. What happened in my life as a little baby, defiled as a little baby. Then after that, my family loses everything. We're sleeping in cars. 5 kids, 1 bedroom, with a dream, and with God, we just let God lead our life. And through that whole process, I grinded and I earned everything I have today. I earned it. Nobody gave me a handout. I never had money, I'm really a small town boy, and then I just grew up as a man, and you start evolving, you start being a leader, and then, I got to clean some stuff up. Maybe I didn't make the right move, the other day, posting that picture, me lighting it up, bad move, my bad, but you keep it moving, life, I just want to let God, if I'm not the man I'm supposed to be, that means God's not done yet. And I feel like, look everybody has the same chance I have. And I just invite you to get to know Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Amen.
I say this is sort of like the altar here. Ryan just came here, or this is like a confessional booth. Like I said, it's very biblical. There's a lot going on here. Ryan's confessing some of his sins. Before this, he had come out and he had said that, he has, I think it was at the other press conference where he spoke about how he had acquired, not obviously, he worked very hard. He got over 30 mil in the bank, and he says, like, what would you do, if you were 25 and you had millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank? He says, I bet you do a lot worse than me. So everyone's passing judgment on him. So Ryan actually went in the opposite direction, right? He basically played their game. He took their mask and put it on him. All right. So first, let's see the poster. Let's see the damn poster, okay?
Ryan Garcia beats the living out of Devin Haney.
All right. So another funny thing I've been seeing online is people saying, talking about these flaws that Devin Haney has, or these mistakes that he made in the fight. They're trying to build it up like he could win this one. Yeah, he can win this one if he just corrects these flaws. But I don't know if that's true because, the way I saw it, this is kind of a one-sided... This was a mismatch, people. This was a mismatch where Ryan basically beat this guy with simple natural ability. I mean, he just, like he said before the fight, he said, I'm just going to walk forward and just basically knock your head off. And there's not really much you can do to stop that. But we're going to go and we're going to humor these people that think that Devin Haney could correct some of these mistakes and win this. One of the first things people were saying was this whole theory about the bow punch, like you throw a jab and you kind of pull your defense away from your face. We're gonna look at a little bit of the highlights from the fight right now, and let's see what this is. All right, so first thing you see here is you see the tail of the tape. Both guys are 25. Haney is 5'8". Ryan is approaching 5'10". 140 pounds for Devin Haney. Ryan is 143.2. As you just saw the biblical reference. Devin Haney is he's the judge and executioner, I guess, right? He thought he was the more pure guy. He's all perfection. And then we got the 72-inch reach, which is in Haney's favor, right? He's a master boxer according to everyone. Meanwhile, Ryan's over here catching him everywhere. Every mistake he makes, he's getting smashed. All right, so we're gonna look at a little bit of this fight right now. So hopefully, whatever we can get away with, right?
But Haney has a 2-inch reach advantage. 12 rounds. WBC super light.
All right. So this is the first shot that hurt Haney in the fight. This is the one where they're all saying, "Oh, it's because of this one mistake of pulling his guard, like his hand back, like they call it, like a bow and arrow or a bow." All right, the real reason that happened has absolutely nothing to do with this whole bow thing. It has more to do with the fact that Haney is he's outreaching his hand right there, his hand there to kind of parry down Ryan's left hand. And so what happens is that Haney can't pull it back in time. Ryan's got a very, very fast whip-like left hook. He can shoot it from his hip, and it's faster than most people's jabs. It's extremely fast. The kid has like what they call very fast, ultra fast fibers. Punch. Ultra fast muscle fibers. Let's see this again. All right, so I think this is, let's see. So you see right here, Ryan is pressing in. This is just a probing jab. Devin Haney throws, let's see this. Okay. All right, there's a probing and there's a left hook. That one of the Haney's biggest mistakes here is, look, he's reaching in, his back foot is off the ground. He's overextending himself. Yes, the hand maybe is like a bow, but I think before that, if you see the whole exchange here, Haney's pulling at Ryan's hand here. Let's see it one more time. So yeah, it was Haney's right hand was outstretched and was kind of trying to parry down Ryan's lead hand. And so he took too long to pull it back to defend himself. That's one of the biggest mistakes. I guess he didn't really gauge how fast Ryan is, and he got caught because he was bringing the hand back. You'll see this. Let's try it one last time here. There you see the outreached hand of Haney trying to parry Ryan's lead hand. That's a bit. You see that? Boom! And then the shot comes in. That's the one. That's the real reason that happened. If he would have just simply had his hand tucked, his right hand up, blocking, anticipating this left hook, because this is Ryan's big shot. You don't want to be pulling your lead hand out there, the hand that you're supposed to be using to block that shot, right? Because now you got to bring that shit back. But the thing is, he didn't have enough time to bring it back correctly. He covered up decently, but just a little bit of his jaw was sticking out, and this was a long-reaching left hook. Ryan throws them. They don't have to be tight with Ryan. He could throw them real long, these hooks, and they will rock you. And so he had him rocked, off of that little shot there. Boom, he just clipped his chin. Boom. But also, I mean, this would have happened to him. It doesn't matter about this whole bow thing, this theory of of the bow. Oh, wait, if he would have just done this, like they're trying to build this, like this kid could actually beat Ryan. But we got some other stuff to look over here. We got Teofimo's dad coming out here. Let's watch this. This is kind of the aftermath of what happened, because everyone thought that they all thought that this kid couldn't pull this off. I mean, people were really misled when predicting this fight, maybe because Ryan had been drained by Tank, and Ryan looked to have quit in the Tank fight. But it's because he said it. He said, "Dude, I was compromised. I couldn't do anything. I was basically almost dead." And they're trying to also talk about the weight, and we're gonna go into that in a minute. You know, that all the different stuff. And I think Ryan, like I said earlier, Ryan was playing into this whole thing Devin Haney was doing, talking about how he's taking drugs. And yeah, and also there's also a lot of themes of like, it's very prophetic, not pathetic. That's what Devin Haney was. It's prophetic, right? You had like Devin Haney's dad over here saying if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
We see that in the fight as well. I mean, this guy almost died in there. His dad would not stop this fight. But we're gonna watch this little bit here, Teofimo's dad, and we're gonna hear some more of this. I guess copium they call it.
In big trouble.
With the Devin Haney fight, were you surprised how one-sided it became the second half of the fight? Obviously, Ryan popped him. You
Not at all. Not at all, because he caught him early.
Round one, yes.
Yeah, he caught him early. And I didn't expect that. That I didn't expect. You know, because I thought that Devin Haney was gonna like try to like protect himself a little bit more. But
see, this is exactly what I said. This is Ryan. You know, Ryan was this was really cold. This was the very beginning of the fight. Devin Haney's coming in there. You know, this is when the nerves are like at their highest. We're just getting going, right? And Devin Haney's coming there. He's pulling out his lead right hand. You're just asking to get smashed.
When Ryan caught him with that left hook, man, I knew that was the beginning of the end. You know, I knew it. I was like, and I said, you can go back there and listen to what I said. You know, I said Devin Haney's gonna win by decision if he does the right thing. But if Ryan pops him with that left hook, it's over.
Yeah, I think the entire world. Yeah, I think the entire world was picking Devin Haney to win this one.
Of course.
There was
of course, but they don't know. But listen to me, they don't know that.
It's because they don't know how to judge a fight, people. They don't understand that Ryan Garcia in the Tank fight had a rehydration clause. That's the big thing. A lot of people keep hanging their hat on this whole idea of, oh, well, you know, Ryan came in a couple of pounds overweight. Well, to me, that doesn't really matter because Devin Haney, he made the weight, okay? He gets to keep his titles. But, I mean, this is what Haney does. He's coming in bigger than everyone all the time. Ryan just wanted to feel good. Yeah, he doesn't get the titles, but they're acting like this was like Ryan put a rehydration clause on this guy. He didn't. All he did was make weight. That was it. Ryan didn't make it. He didn't get the titles. He got his punishment. Haney, I guess Haney's just cutting too much weight. What is he, a fucking, what is he, a super middleweight or something that it hurt him that bad?
I mean, like, they thought this.
And keep in mind, everybody was saying Haney's the hottest shit in the world when he had his fight before the Ryan fight. But now he's just, just as this kid having 3 more pounds. And who's to say he had 3 more pounds when they were in the ring? Haney could have 10 pounds on him for all we know.
It was the next Floyd Mayweather. Come on, man. They gave him a lot of props. His father did a really good job of selling him, But I knew the truth. We sparred him when he was younger. And my son stopped his ass in the 5th round. Nobody believed me. He lied about it. So this is what happens when you lie. When you lie about what you do, you know what I'm saying? Especially in sparring or whatever it is. Just say the truth, bro. But yeah, he kicked my ass. If my son gets his ass kicked, I say it. He's got his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? But I always knew this. He knew it. That's why they don't want to fight us. He's traumatized.
So there you go. He's saying that Devin Haney's a hype job is pretty much what Teofimo Lopez's dad is saying. We got a lot of copium happening over here. Right, so we got Bill Haney out here, not looking too happy about the whole situation. Okay, here we go. This is a video from Fight Hype.
Good morning. Salam alaikum. Alhamdulillah. We outside when we winning, and we outside in defeat. We turn losses into lessons, and in turn them into blessings. One thing I can say is I did always say that I believe that Ryan Garcia was a good fighter. We were 3-3 with him. I think he's an even better TikToker or influencer or whatever because he fooled you guys into thinking that he was crazy. I knew that he wasn't crazy.
All right, so now he wants to say that the guy is good and all this, but before that, he was the anti-hype guy because he had said that his son was going to beat the shit out of him. He's going to beat him easy, but now we're going to get all humble. And really what this is I think he's looking for a rematch for his son, but it's never going to work, people. It's never going to work, and the reason why I say that is because they're going to want a rehydration clause. They're saying how they want to have this is why I think in a lot of ways Devin Haney's dad is actually the one that has shot his son in the foot. Devin Haney's dad was very disrespectful to B-Hop and certain other people in the sport. And what I think happened is that they planned this out, this whole thing with the weight, that, you know, to let Ryan come in where he's feeling good, because their whole thing is to drain him out, and he didn't want to drain himself out. So he did this, and now he has the upper hand when it comes to bargaining in a rematch, which I think even if Ryan came in at the exact weight, I think he'd still crush Devin Haney. But this sets up a built-in excuse to have a rematch so they can double dip on this one, right? There's another reason why, you know, maybe B-Hop and Oscar wanted to come in a little heavy. But really, I mean, really, it's not going to make a difference if they fight again. There is no rehydration clause, and there's not going to be one in a rematch. So I predict Ryan will knock him out just the same. If they get a different ref in there, that Ryan's going to knock him out even quicker. I mean, he's going to literally knock him out, because my prediction for this fight was that Ryan was going to knock him out. The only reason it didn't happen is because this referee, he just kept picking Devin. He was literally picking Devin Haney up. I feel like, to me, it looked like Devin Haney got knocked out in the 7th round. The guy was like literally knocked out, and then the referee like picked him up off the ground and helped him out. I mean, this was not a close fight. This was a complete mismatch. Okay, so this is what that looked like in the ring. All right, here we go. It's a fight that I'll make look easy. All right, so he's gonna make it look easy. It didn't seem like that. It looked like Ryan made this fight look easy. And we have this little bit over here. Haney's father threatens Ryan Garcia. If he dies, he dies. I told you guys about that earlier. That's when Haney's dad was, he's trying to be, he's trying to act like Rocky 4 when the Russian says if he dies, he dies. But in this case, it was Ryan who was the Russian, right? Ryan was the one saying if he dies, he dies. And Haney's dad didn't seem to care much about his son. He kind of let his son get his fucking ass kicked. All right, so we got this excuse right here from Devin Haney. He says, Allah is the perfect planner. He makes no mistakes. Fought like a true champion, got up off the canvas and kept fighting. I am 100% okay and would love to do it again while we both make weight. So, he throws a little shade at him at the end. And I love this picture here because it tries to make Devin Haney like he looks like he's really, really, really short, even though they're basically the same height. It tries to make Ryan look really, really big because perspective, people. Ryan is, look at Ryan. He's right in front of the camera, so it gives you this false perspective, this false idea that Ryan is way bigger. And I mean, even within this picture, you can see the mistake that Haney's doing. Look, his left hand is real low. He's reaching in. His back foot is completely off the ground, and his hand, like I said, look at his hand there. His hand is real low. That would be his left would be down. Look, that's open. Ryan could have smashed him with a right hand. And this is not the beginning of the fight. This was later in the fight. Ryan taking steps back. He's like an inch away from that shot. If Ryan was to reach him with that left hook, he land. He's got either hand there. He can land because that's what Ryan is really good at. That's what I said when I was predicting this fight. Ryan is really good at standing just right outside your range, just slightly outside your range. So he catches you kind of overextending yourself, and you're off. He's right out there. So that's when he lands his big shots on you. And since this was not a dead, drained to death Ryan with a weight rehydration clause, he was able to really capitalize and beat the living F out of Devin Haney. All right, so another interesting thing was a lot of the looks of the fighters. Devin Haney looked very flat, like he was a little too confident. And it was also weird how Haney was trying to invoke like this Mike Tyson kind of spirit. Like you see, like he's trying to look like he's Mike Tyson. It's set in Brooklyn. His dad at the press conference was actually looking a lot like Don King, which is another weird thing. You know, Ryan kept saying, he's pimping you, he's pimping you.
Your dad's a pimp and he pimping you. Your dad a pimp and he pimping you.
He said that about Devin Haney. And it's true. You know, his dad is like treats his son like he's just like property. Like, you know, he's always telling people, you know, I gave you my son. I gave you my son.
When I came to him with business. I came to him with the best fighter in the world. And I came to him and I said, I'm going to go to proper protocol and I'm going to approach you and I'm going to bring Devin to him.
His dad really is poison, people. He really is. He's always pretending like he's Mr. Like the blackest guy in the world. He's obsessed with his color, his pigment. And yet he kind of hates black people because when he was around B-Hop, it was like crabs in a fucking barrel. Except B-Hop doesn't engage in this behavior. It's really Devin Haney's dad punching up. You know, B-Hop was very respectful to them. But the Haney's dad is constantly trying to fuck with B-Hop. And that's a big problem, people, when you're dealing with a guy who's got a boxing IQ like B-Hop, and he also knows the business. So possibly what happened is what I said earlier is that B-Hop came up and said, do you know what you should do? Just come in a little heavier. That could have been it. I don't know, but I assume that might be one of the things that happened. All right, so we got over here, we got another piece of information. Devin Haney to take break from boxing following loss to Ryan Garcia. All right, so one of the things that was said is that he had broken his jaw. And he also took a big beating, so of course he's going to take some time off. Devin Haney's reported as saying nothing broke, he's fine. But I mean, do you think he would admit to that he got a broken jaw there? I don't think he would. There's a lot of information flying around. There's Ryan Garcia. Okay, we got Ryan Garcia explains how he fooled the boxing world with crazy act before beating Devin Haney. I don't really believe this whole narrative that he just made up the whole thing. I think he's doing that to kind of cover his ass because he did reveal a lot of things you're not supposed to do in these circles. I know a group called Killing Joke where it's a political group, and he's always revealing these different things. He has a song that's titled "I Am the Virus," which it came out before, you know, that big thing that happened throughout the world. Kind of pointed it out before it even happened. And in an interview, he was asked, you know, how do you say these things and nothing happens to you? And so his response was that I act crazy. They think I'm crazy. So that's kind of what protects him. If you watch a lot of Ryan's interviews, it doesn't seem like he's making anything up. Not to me, at least. It seems kind of a lot of it seems genuine. Here's our best friend, Tim Bradley. You know, the guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's watching, but
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back.
This is how he works, people. He wants to keep his status as Mr. Expert, but his predictions are 99% of the time wrong. Let's watch this.
And yet, he didn't show that. He didn't show that in the fight. Now, let's talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he did some interesting things in there. I think Derek James, I think they had a great game plan. You know, he used his jab every now and then. He was luring in. He was trying to set lateral traps. You kept seeing him moving to the left, moving to the right, bagging up, bringing Haney, just allowing Haney to come in and come in and come in. But once he started punching with Haney, and I said this in my breakdown, I was like, to better his chances, he has to punch with Haney because he has the faster hands and he's the stronger puncher. And once he started exchanging with him, man, and letting his hands go, Haney had no answers whatsoever.
Why? Because his fucking hands are faster. That's why. I bet. I was saying this all along. I mean, Haney cannot fight with this guy on the mid-range or outside. He can't, or close. You can't fight him on the inside either. I mean, Haney was getting rocked with lefts and rights right on the inside.
No counters coming. Haney would just go up in a high guard. The speed was too blazing fast. The power was too much for him. You know, it looked like he didn't have his legs because he was getting knocked off balance and so on and so forth. You know, but they had a really good plan, you know, and he started turning that jab into a hook, a surprise hook. He started parrying with it, using that lone guard, and he started coming around and catching him with that hook. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan had this amazing kind of like jab. He would just paw it in, and then he would transfer that kind of like, it was like a stiff arm. Like it was tricking Haney. It would come in. It's like keep pumping it, that kind of jab, and then he would turn it over into a hook. It was very impressive.
You know, I want to go back to the beginning because, you know, you're an analyst, great analyst as well, man. I listened to you on your channel. You know, through the lead up to this fight, I thought Haney was going to win this fight with flying colors. And that's
I don't know what would make this guy think that Haney was going to win this fight with flying colors. Did you not factor in the fact that Ryan Garcia was fucking drained versus Tank? Because this is the real fight. I think this comes from. This prediction comes from the Tank fight. But you have to realize that kid in that fight was dehydrated. He had a rehydration clause. That's not the same guy that you saw in all the previous fights. You know, that's the difference. So how do you factor that one fight into like a whole career? You know, the guy had a whole career. I mean, he had many years of boxing. He had never done this before. And it's not like Ryan was at his best, you know, he was at his worst. And so I didn't respect it either. You know, he took a knee, but I guess he knows a little bit better than other people do. He knows that he was compromised and that it just, you know, wasn't going to work for him. And he told everybody that this guy's drained me. That basically was telling you that he knew he was going to lose. So, you know, he knew he wasn't there. He didn't have any of his natural abilities because Ryan on his natural abilities alone beats most of the guys at his weight class and even at welterweight, which you'll go into later because he's talking about going up and fighting Boots, which I pick him to win that fight. That people don't understand. Boots is not a natural talent like Ryan is. Ryan is going to hone his skills. And he has those natural abilities, just like Manny Pacquiao had them, just like Oscar De La Hoya had them. And in a lot of ways, Ryan does kind of remind me of an Oscar De La Hoya. He has the left hook, and he also has the fighter spirit. I mean, this is a kid who's a multimillionaire. He doesn't need to fight anymore, right? He's not doing this just for the money. So, and also, he's not cherry picking. He's fighting the best guys they could throw at him. So, just like I've said in one of my videos a few weeks ago, I talked about how Ryan doesn't need to retire. He can be a better fighter than any of these guys. He can even outshine Floyd Mayweather because if Ryan comes in and he just fights all comers, all the best, right? That in my book, and at their prime, not enough Floyd did it where he fought all these old men. If he fights these guys in their prime, then in my book, he's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather because Floyd didn't fight barely. He fought like basically no one in their prime, no one great. So this kid has a great opportunity to just go right through all these guys, right?
And that's with everything being equal. Understand that. That's what everything being equal. So like we make our predictions, we talk about this, we talk about that, we talk about each other's flaws, we talk about all their abilities, right? But that's before we actually get to the weigh-ins, you know, because the weigh-ins is actually where you can see, all right, is my pick right or is my pick wrong?
You know, people, I feel like this guy over here like stole shit from me because I said this. I kept saying that, you know, I'm not going to make my prediction till after I watch the weigh-in. And now, and I said the exact same reasons. I said, oh, is this guy going to look right? Now this guy's literally saying basically the same thing I said. And I said this like when I was watching the weigh-ins for the Garcia fight. Maybe, who knows, people? I'm getting ripped off left and right. I'll talk about it later.
To continue what I'm going to initially say is that Ryan Garcia didn't make the weight, people. I don't care. Like, you have a contract to make a weight. And I don't think Ryan Garcia intended to make the weight at 140 pounds. You know, even after the fact.
Yes, I think that's correct. I think they kind of planned it out. He didn't want to come in and drain himself, so he wanted to be in good shape. I mean, like I said, maybe they shouldn't have played around with B-Hop and all these guys. So Ryan came in a little heavier just so he can be, you know, not kill himself. But, you know, Devin Haney, you're supposed to make the weight, people. Brian got punished for it. He didn't get the title, right? And again, there was no rehydration clause in this fight. So, you know, come in with 2 to 3 pounds more doesn't mean that much when the guy you're fighting is coming in at a much bigger weight than you. So we could say that maybe if Ryan came in at weight at 140, Devin Haney might have still had like 8, 9, 10 pounds on him or more.
Ryan was like, well, that's why I always fight at 143. You know, there was no way I was going to make the weight. He knew even going into the fight that he wasn't going to make the weight to begin with. You know, which is one, not right. 2, you're contracted to make 140. and you go into the fight now with an advantage.
This guy it's all copium, people. This guy is, let's be real, he probably chose Haney because possibly, something to do with pigment, huh? It's the glory for him, right? This guy is a fucking racist, and but he's weird. He's not quite a racist. He's kind of in the club, He's kind of in that. I put it in my other video. He's in the 666 club, people. He's with those people. That's why he race baits people. So he's not completely a black rah 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 guy because he literally goes and plays his own people against each other and against other people. He fills you with resentment. This guy you can't trust anything he says.
So what he learned from Gervonta Davis was he took it into this fight against Devin Haney. And, some people say, well, Haney, when he took the money, Haney, of course, he had to because he was damned if he didn't, damned if he don't. It's a huge event, man.
Did this guy make all these excuses when Floyd was making fighters wear pillows? Did he do that?
And now you pull away, now you're going to piss off a lot of folks. The zone, promoters, everybody going to start, oh, he's scared, he's that, he's this and that. It's only 3 pounds, it's only 3 pounds. If it's only 3 pounds, 3 in a 3.2, 3 point, whatever it is, if it's only that, why wasn't it attempted to be made? Why didn't Ryan Garcia attempt to make that weight? Because he said it in a tweet. I'm not going to drain myself. I want to be physically strong for the fight. Well, guess who drained themselves to make their weight? Devin the Dream.
Well, that's his fault. Also, he didn't drain himself to make the weight. He simply cut down, as all fighters do for fights. They make the weight. And what did that do? That let him keep his titles. Yeah. Also, by Ryan, like I said earlier, Ryan coming in at that weight allowed Haney to keep his title. So maybe if Ryan wants to come down a couple of pounds, he'll knock your buddy out. Let's just get the right ref in there because this was not an even playing field. This was Ryan Garcia with a ref that was completely against him. You had the commentary team that was for sure building it for Haney. They had Haney winning basically every single round. If Ryan didn't knock this guy down, he'd knock him down the amount of times he did. Like I said, he literally knocked the guy out once. He knocked him down, I think it was 4 times in the whole fight. And they still built it for Haney. I think one of the cards was a draw. And this was a guy who got dropped. So, look, they basically, they didn't give Ryan like any rounds, really. They were just giving them all to Haney. And so for this guy to come out here and have the nerve to talk about some weight thing, about the weight. Look, it's like 3 pounds, right? It's who cares? Look, the guy, again, he didn't get the titles, but this was not an even playing field. This was probably a Devin Haney that would have came in way overweight because he did. I want to see what his weight was because I know that when he came in his previous fight, Regis Prograis or whatever, Haney was basically a middleweight. He was like 64 pounds or something. He was a big guy. So also, once again, this was not a level playing field. This was not even. Even if Ryan would have cut down and kind of drained himself, he would have basically still have been going against the commentary team and the referee in that ring. So it's probably best that he came in this way. And I'm pretty sure B-Hop knew this and Oscar. They knew this. They're like, just come in a little better, be in shape, be healthy, right? And so that's probably what they did. And so, but to keep harping on this weight thing is ridiculous because there was no rehydration clause in here. The guy just basically made weight, as he would for any other fight at 140. But they keep acting, he's dehydrated. Well, if he's dehydrated, if Haney's that fucked up from just simply making weight, then he needs to just move his weight class because you're basically telling me that he's too fucking big for the weight.
Haney. Now, it's not Ryan's fault. However, Ryan didn't even attempt to make the weight. So Ryan went into this fight with an advantage. Remember, everything we say through the lead up, we don't know that he's not going to make the weight. We're assuming possibly, but we're not.
I could tell he wasn't going to make the weight because when you watched the last workout of the training camp, Devin Haney was wearing a sweatsuit. He was wearing like a suit under his sweat suit, what he was wearing, whatever. He had a suit under his fucking suit. So that's intended to lose weight. That's why you do that. Ryan was just shirtless. He looked kind of waterlogged slightly, like he was already on weight, it looked like, or a little above it. So what Ryan did is he came in and he did cut weight, but he left it there at that certain weight, which somehow lined up with this biblical psalm, which is kind of interesting that lined up with a lot of these things. But yeah, but that's something else. That's another story. Let's see this.
We're not banking on any of that. We're banking on skill for skill. Period. Skill for skill. Their past performances, how each guys, what the mistakes are, yada yada yada. All right. Boom. So,
Was that English there? What? Let's hear that again. I don't know what the hell he just said.
Boom. Their past performance. We're assuming possibly, but we're not banking on any of that. We're banking on skill for skill. Period. Skill for skill. Their past performances, how each guys, what the mistakes are, yada yada yada. All
yeah,
right.
some of that, I don't know if some of that was English. Their last performances. So he was factoring in the Tank performance in here, and he's factoring Devin Haney's last performance, I guess.
Boom.
Boom.
So I just wanted to elaborate on that, man, and saying that Ryan Garcia had an advantage in this fight.
So did Devin Haney.
It wasn't an even playing field here. Devin Haney act like a true professional all the way through. He was a true professional.
Yeah, he was a true professional. Was landing all rabbit punches, dick punches, all kinds of cheap stuff, just wrestling his ass off every single round. The referee allowed him to get away with excessive wrestling. Devin Haney just fought a completely dirty fight. Devin Haney could not compete with Ryan Garcia's superior footwork and hand speed and timing. He just couldn't do it. He's too slow. He's way too slow. His defense isn't tight enough. He's not strong enough. Like, he doesn't punch that hard because technique is garbage. He was never that great. That's the whole thing. This guy wants to basically make a lemonade out of a lemon, This guy is not as good as what you think. He doesn't have the natural abilities. Like, Ryan Garcia beats this guy with just simple natural abilities. But I called it. I said Ryan can beat this guy in a multitude of ways, and that's what he did. He could rush in, he could be the bull and just beat his ass like he's nobody, or he can take steps back, and the threat of the left hand is always there. And Ryan doesn't just have a left hand, he has a right hand as well, because he was rocking Devin Haney with right hands as well, and he was rocking him on the inside. Ryan Garcia is so good that Devin Haney had to catch him in double underhooks. He wasn't fighting him on the inside. He was literally just surviving. After the seventh round where he got dropped, Devin Haney, he couldn't pick it. He couldn't pick up the pieces, people. He was just pressuring in and just hugging. After in the eighth round, Devin Haney literally speared in across the ring and just grabbed Ryan Garcia in a double underhook in a wrestling move. And all that does is give Haney more time to recover. And the referee allowed him to get away with the success of wrestling all the rabbit punches. I was actually afraid that Devin Haney was going to smash Ryan in the back of the head with a rabbit punch and knock him out, and they would have called it a illegal knockout, because that's how they were rolling in this fight. This guy was not fighting him and not actually boxing after the seventh round. Now, I'll admit Devin Haney had some moments in there with the left hook. Yes. There's no reason to not call out the success he had. I guess he had watched some of Ryan's past fights where he was susceptible to the left hook, but Ryan took it away right away with that interesting shoulder roll he does. And then once he did that shot was gone completely. Like, Devin Haney had nothing for him after that. He had some success with that left hook, but after Ryan took that away, all Devin Haney was reduced to was throwing little kidney punches. He was just, at one point in the fight, he hit Ryan with like 5 or 6 fucking kidney punches consecutively right in front of the ref, and the ref did nothing. And I remember at one point the ref actually took a point from Ryan. He hit the guy sort of on the break, but they were in the middle of fighting. But you're gonna go and he gave Ryan multiple warnings, while the guy he's fighting is excessively holding. He's hitting him with low blows. He's hitting him with intentional kidney punches. He's hitting him with intentional rabbit punches. Come on, dude. You're gonna talk about a fair playing field? This wasn't fair. If anything, this was karma. This guy was judging this kid nonstop, calling him a drug addict, a fucking drunk, calling him everything in the book. And then he has the nerve to go in the ring and start cheating the entire time because he can't compete on him in a real boxing fight. He couldn't do it. He couldn't compete. He could not compete.
All the way through. He made his contracted weight. Understand that, people. Garcia did.
He made his contracted weight. And then what was he, a fucking light heavyweight in there? That's probably what he was. He was probably close to 170.
And it helped him in this fight. He was walking. Look, Haney's not a big puncher, but he's a respectful puncher. But he was walking through his stuff like nothing. Every shot that Ryan threw, it buckled Haney. Even if it was a grazing blow.
Because he can fucking punch, that's why.
It buckled him. But I tell you right now,
it buckled him because he was dehydrated. Well, whose fault is that, bro? Whose fault is that? It was a 140 fight. Good for you, Haney. You made the weight. But if you're that fucking fucked up and dehydrated, then you need to go up and weight and stop trying to take advantage. Because that's probably what you were doing. To me, you look like a big fat motherfucker. It looks like you were trying to pull that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder on Ryan. It didn't work out for you, bro. You couldn't lay all over him. He was catching you, coming in. You were holding for your life. And the only reason you survived this entire fight is because the referee saved your ass. That's why. And you really should drop your daddy as a trainer because your daddy almost got you killed. That dude didn't help you at all. He didn't try to save you. He let you get your ass whooped.
it will be different. If 3 pounds is not much, why didn't Ryan attempt to make it? Okay, because they would have weakened his resolve. There's no doubt in my mind. Now you got an even playing field. Now it's a little bit different. Now it would have took some away from that punching power that he had because he looked heavy. You know, we say, well, Haney gets up to 160 something pounds.
Haney look heavier than me, people.
He blown up. That's a ton of sodium, water retention, so on and so forth. He's not making his weight properly. However, you had Ryan that has a solid 3, maybe even more pounds that was on him, man. He looked so dense and so big in that fight with Haney.
I think Bradley's getting a little boner here.
Haney looked like the small guy. Usually Haney is the bigger guy. He was small compared to Ryan Garcia. And so that's what helped him in his favors. So now I look at this and I
All right, so Haney's usually the bigger guy, and that's okay, right? It's okay when Haney does it? That's what it is?
Well, what kind of credit do you give Ryan?
I'll give him full credit.
What kind of credit do you give Ryan, honestly? You know? Oh, the fight was great. The result was fantastic. You know, everybody was on the edge of their seat. However, how much credit do you really give him when he had an advantage going into the fight? You know, I don't care about the belt. I don't care.
This dude's so butthurt. He's acting like he fucking lost or like this guy was his fighter. Why are you so butthurt, dude? You don't care about any other fight like this. It seems like every fight where someone has a certain level of melanin, this guy gets really like butthurt.
About the actual bet that they had. That's not the point. The point is you had a contract to wait. You knew you weren't gonna make. In that case, you should have made the fight at 143. No belt attached to the fight, but he did.
I mean, this is what Ryan is doing. He's now calling out these other fighters, and I think really what it is that they're fearing losing their titles. So what he's doing is he's catching them at different weights, lower weights that are close to their weight, and then they don't have to lose their title. Like he's calling out Tank Davis right now. Tank Davis could probably very easily make even welterweight, but he's not going to do that. He's going to hide down there. And he's going to want to have a rehydration clause. So I feel like what Ryan's going to do is that he's not going to fight Tank or any of these guys without not having these rehydration clause. Like he'll let you have make the weight and then you just put your weight back on. He's not going to give you a rehydration clause. This is what these guys want to do to you, all of them. So one of the reasons this guy came in and tried to be, why Ryan came in, he wants to be in good shape and feel good, is because this gives him the upper hand. So he got you. Checkmate, people. Checkmate. He got your ass. And now he's in the driver's seat, okay? It's genius. That's what it is. Because you motherfuckers are always playing games, right? With the weight and all this stuff. Got the referee in your pocket. Got it all. Well, guess what? Checkweight, motherfuckers. Checkmate. He came in there and he beat the fuck out of Haney. So, once again, he's in the driver's seat. The kid is a lot smarter than you thought. But it isn't just the kid. I think it was B-Hop. And it was Devin Haney's dad. Just, you don't fuck with these people. You don't fuck, especially when they're boxers, people. When they are, boxers, they know the game and they played it well. And they got this guy.
That would have helped Haney in this bout. It would have definitely helped him be able to absorb them shots that Ryan was throwing. And
Devin Haney, but I don't even know what this guy is talking about. Like he's saying that he would have been able to take the shots. You literally said that the guy was drained. That's what you said. You said he was drained. So that's Devin Haney's fault, not Ryan's. Okay?
So, a lot of things, as always, with your analysis to unpack. So let's say, basically, does Ryan, from what you saw, though, even though maybe Devin could have had a better game plan, be the pure boxer instead of trying to prove a point and match Tank in terms of stopping Ryan.
People, there's nothing that Haney can do that's going to beat Ryan. There's not. This kid could beat Haney on just sheer natural ability. There's nothing. He can change and maybe he won't get dropped as much, But Ryan can also change as well. Ryan can just bring his cardio up and just roll over him. Because he could have got him. If that referee didn't protect Haney, Ryan would have knocked him out very early in that fight. There's a lot of things that can change here, but I think the result at the end of the fight will not change. I think if they rematch, it's more likely that Ryan's going to knock Haney out. Because because Oscar's not fucking around anymore, people. He said it after the fight. They know they're in the driver's seat. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, yes, we'll fight, but it's going to be at 147 or 145. They'll let Haney come up a little bit, and then he'll be able to hydrate completely. There's not going to be any more rehydration with this kid. No more rehydration clauses. He's done with that. You're going to fight him with no rehydration clause. He's going to be at 45 or 47 or 44. But after, dude, he's not going to kill himself to make these weights. That's it. He'll fight you to he'll make a weight, but it's got to be no rehydration clause. And so what I predict is that Ryan is going to knock out Tank if they fight again, and he's going to knock out Haney. If Ryan comes in smart, he will beat Tank Davis.
And not just winning them. And then Ryan coming in at 40 instead of 43. But at the end of the day, Tim, did you see that Ryan Garcia has Devin Haney's number?
He does. That's exactly as I would see it.
You know what? That's a really good question. And I would say, yeah. I would say, yeah. And
So
I
there you
would
go.
also say no. I would say, yeah. And
I would say yeah, but I also say no. I mean, look, if he got the wrestler, if he get Randy Couture to wrestle him, to teach him how to wrestle properly, then he could come in there with a more wrestling based style and beat his ass.
What is he gonna do? Wrestle? I mean, look, 90% of what Haney did was wrestling. That's what he did. This is boxing, people. If he was forced to actually stand with Ryan, he'd be a dead man. I mean, Ryan was making space as Haney was just double hooking him. Ryan's making space with the elbow, and bam, he was him with the right hook, rocking him. Right from dude, he beat him from every position. He beat him on the outside. He beat him on the inside. He beat him at mid range. He just beat his fucking ass all night long.
Also would say no. I say yeah because regardless of how I look and I view Ryan Garcia as a fighter, what he does have is elite speed and elite power. Those two things right there are hard to come by. Period. Doesn't have
hard to come by. Yes, they're God gifted. That's what they are. Haney has none of these natural abilities, so he has to fill the gaps with cheap bullshit. I mean, even if he threw the best technique ever, he just doesn't have. He doesn't have speed and timing. That's some of his flaws. That's really, really bad if you don't have speed and timing. He also doesn't have pop, and his defense isn't that great. His feet are very slow. Ryan has faster feet. He has faster hands. He has better timing. He has more powerful punches. He's just all around better, people. How many times I got to say it?
Have the best technique, doesn't have the best boxing ability. I mean, you saw him. Dude was literally turning his back again. People, are you kidding me? Literally turning his back. Doesn't have the best technique, doesn't have the speed and elite power. Those two things right there are hard to come by. Period. Doesn't have the best technique, doesn't have the best boxing ability. I mean, you saw him.
Dude, like, what is he even saying? What, Devin Haney has better boxing ability? No, he doesn't. Ryan walked him into shots. Like, what's boxing? You got to hit him with a jab to box him? I mean, Ryan's got, you know how these guys love to say, the check left hook. Well, Ryan has probably one of the best check left hooks I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Floyd Mayweather wish he had a check left hook like that. He has nothing close to that. The kid's pivoting off and just smashing your face in. He's taking steps back, walking you into shots. Bam, you're down. What does Devin Haney got? He walks you into a bullshit right hand. That's what he did versus Prograis. He simply walked back and walked Prograis into this garbage right hand. So Ryan walks you into a left hook. All right. Ryan may not have the best jab, but it's good enough. I mean, Haney's got a trash jab. I don't understand this whole idea about boxing. Look, Ryan's got this guy beat in every way. He's also got a higher ring IQ. Why do you think Haney was fucking holding for his life? Because he's a superior boxer?
Literally turning his back again. People, are you kidding me? Turning his back like this. Have you ever seen that in a fighter?
Yeah, I seen it. His name is Floyd Mayweather. They called him the best of a generation. I don't think he was at all, but he would turn his back all the time. Remember that Ricky Hatton fight? The guy literally turned his back and put his head under the ropes. Yes. You remember when Floyd fought Conor McGregor? Floyd was turning his back completely, had this guy basically mounting him. You know, this is what Floyd did through his whole career. He cheated. He would bend over and turn his back, right? He would turn it, and Ryan wasn't turning his back. He was blocking his stomach, his right side of his head, and he was just kind of bending a little. Yeah, he actually the shoulder roll Ryan did in this fight was better than the one he did in the Duarte fight. I mean, this is a known technique. A lot of guys do this. Floyd Mayweather is big on it, and what he does is he gets in that position. It takes away what he did in this fight, Ryan, is it took away the left hook of Haney. Haney got really frustrated, and then so what happens is you wait for the ref to break up the action. That's all you do. That's what it is, and you reset. It's a great way of messing with the rhythm of the other fighter. You fuck up his timing completely, and also you can't land that punch, right? But what I find funny is how this guy's all like pissed off about this when he literally saw Floyd do this through his entire career.
I've never seen that before.
Look, you never saw it before? Well, dude, again, why do they hire this fucking dolphin over here? Sorry, seal. Why do they hire this lying seal? This guy's always fucking lying. I've never seen it before. He's acting outraged by something that happens basically all the time in boxing, but especially, I mean, it happened with the most popular boxer in the sport for over 10 years. The guy would do it in every single fight.
Those two things right there are hard to come by, period. Doesn't have the best technique, doesn't have the best boxing ability. I mean, you saw him. Dude was literally turning his back again. People, are you kidding me? Turning his back like this. Have you ever seen that in a fighter? I've never seen that before, bro. This is the first time me ever seeing someone turn their back and get away with it.
Complete bullshit, lies.
With it, man. You can't turn your back like that away from action, bro. That is wrong. That is not right. And something needs to be done. Like a rule needs to be changed.
Hey, bro, they already got a rule on that. You're not supposed to turn your back on your opponents. But you know what does they say? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yes. It's happened. It's been done. It's been done before, people. But why is it that Devin Haney gets to throw all these low blows and these rabbit punches and all that, right? Why aren't you pointing that out, Bradley? Why aren't you fucking pointing that out, right?
Ryan Garcia rule. Remember he had the hack-a-shack? The Ryan Garcia, they needed something. You don't turn your back. Don't do that Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair. It's not allowing your opponent to be able to mount an offense because you're turning your back.
Oh, that's sort of like how Devin Haney was excessively holding Ryan for his life, right? He double underhooks, like fucking MMA style, like mixed martial arts style, huh? I felt like I was watching a fucking UFC fight, a really boring one. But we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the guy who's beige, right?
And now you got the referee that's vexing you on that. Now, the flip side of that is again, even playing field.
Oh, I love how he said the referee, right? He talks about the ref allowing that, but he's not going to talk about all the shit the ref allowed Devin Haney to get away with, which the excessive holding. And we know there's a rule against that too, huh, bro? There's a rule. You can't excessively hold somebody and break up the action and prevent the action by excessively holding, which is what Devin Haney did for full rounds. He was doing this.
The even playing field. Some of his resolve would have been taken if he would have shrunk down now 3.2 pounds. It would have been.
All right, dude, people, I'm sorry. I'm done with this guy. All right, we're going to go and look at some other stuff. This dude is just an absolute bullshitter.
A lot of people need to stop believing everything on the internet and stop, living in a false reality. At the end of the day, there's a lot of real shit going on. The last thing you should worry about as a kid, acting crazy on the internet. Real shit is going on in the world. Open your eyes. Kids being hurt, nobody caring. Everybody looking at it like, oh, he's just crazy, it's a conspiracy, it's this, it's that. At the end of the day, that shit was real. And I out there put my reputation online, had everybody thinking I was crazy.
Now you see the guys how Ryan's it's duality, right? He's trying to get you to pick what's correct, right? He's going back and forth with this. He's letting you decide. But I think in reality, a lot of what Ryan was saying was true about the kids being, abused and violated. But he has to kind of play the fool, play the crazy man to simply stay alive, possibly. They probably told him that you better act crazy, you better do something. And so he plays the game, right? I'm crazy, I'm not crazy, I'm crazy, I'm not crazy, that kind of thing.
Today, who's the crazy one now? I didn't really want to say this.
I think he's being honest right here.
It is the truth, everybody needs to acknowledge, like, yo, I'm tripping. Y'all was tripping, not me. You guys were tripping. I was the one that was actually with sanity. Because I'm like, yo, they're hurting little kids, let's help them.
See, here it is again. This is what he says, right? He's He's trying to help them. It's you for some weird reason that doesn't want to believe this. Like, how do you not believe this? Like, do you not understand the world you're living in? But you don't believe this. Like, you're calling him crazy. For what reason are you calling him crazy? What he's saying is like very sane. That these things are happening. He's telling you he saw them. So I could never understand why people were calling him crazy. I mean, I understand he's drinking, he's twitching his nose and all that. But I mean, the guy looked like he has OCD to me. And that's common. That's nothing. It's actually kind of funny.
Being a real man, because I don't give a fuck what people say about me. I walk through the fire and still held it down and still beat fucking Devin Haney and still drink every day and still beat and I did everything. What the fuck? Hey, what happened? False reality, right? Drank every single night, went out on the first Monday and a Tuesday and what happened? I won.
He did calm down.
Not a big fan of that.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily am I proud of that, but I'm just saying. This is, it was a statement to show you.
Look, Oscar's holding his arm like, yo, bro, chill, just chill. You know, it's true. It's not a good message. It's really not. But the thing is that he's a false idol, like I told you earlier. Do not live by his example. He's saying this is not good. He's saying this. Devin Haney says he could not beat him because he's drinking and all this. But, you know, I don't know why he says it's weird, but again, it goes to the duality. He gives you both ends of it. This kid, you know, he's a young guy. He's doing all this shit. You know, he needs to slow down on it. Yes.
You guys can't really fuck with me.
That's right.
I do whatever I want. Absolutely.
He did settle down on Sunday though. Just imagine if none of that happened and he stayed in camp for 8 weeks.
Oh, I did do that, but that's not very technical.
Just imagine, see, use your imagination, y'all all have breakthroughs.
This is like the John Jones kind of thing, except Ryan's not a big troublemaker like Jones is. You know, he does drugs and drinks and all that. Seems to people like gravitate towards this because again, they like a low moral standard. Ryan knows he's flawed and he pointed it out. He's pointed it out.
Just imagine all the things he just said, and I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because this is out. And he would have just been everything straight for 8 weeks. Should have been a wreck.
Yeah. But like I was just having fun, man. I'm just looking. I'm going through.
I think B-Hop says he could have got him out there in 2 rounds. I think that's what he said. Yeah, I think he could have.
You know, I went through a divorce. Just a lot of shit's been happening to me. You know, outside my life, that low-key kind of broke me. So, you know, I did what I felt I needed to do to feel okay. And so I drank every day and I did whatever I wanted. And I'm not proud of it at all. I just pray, you know. Pray for my kids and hopefully they're okay.
No, at least he says he's not proud of it. When you watch John Jones, the guy literally says he's proud of it. Like he's like, yeah, I did coke and I'll beat you anyway. I mean, we got a little more insight into what's going on with Ryan. He's watching his ass, telling people that, you know, he's telling people it's lies. It's not lies. It's lies. It's not lies. So you create like a clusterfuck and it kind of protects you. All right. So what we're going to look for is there's a video out there of Ryan talking about how he took it easy on Devin Haney because he felt sorry because Devin Haney's dad was not stopping the fight. The dude just did not want to stop the fucking fight. He's like, if he dies, he fucking dies. All right, let's look a little bit of this. This is a little bit of an overhead view of the fight. We can do a little more play-by-play to this shit. All right, here we go, people. Want to hear this? Let's hear it.
Emotions it was.
Okay, so we're here. Yeah, we got it right here, you know. Guys getting dropped over and over again. Bill Haney's all right. We got the Logan Paul brothers all excited. Oh, they're in a state of shock. I don't see why, because they don't know how to judge the sport. That's why. Everyone's going insane. Oh my, we're all in shock. I told everybody, people. I told you all. I said you're gonna be shocked. And the reason why is you thought that this was going to be a blowout. I don't know where the blowout's coming from. When you got a guy who's constantly making mistakes, who's got very slow feet and hands, and you're fighting an explosive fighter like this, you're going to get fucked up, people. Well, if you don't know, I mean, he fought him all wrong, and it don't matter because he has to be completely perfect, and he has to roll that wrestling into there. You know, he couldn't even fight him the way he fought Loma. And I don't know what's going on here. Ryan's getting water poured on his head. He's head banging. Very homoerotic. All right, but I'm going to look for that video. I want to find this video where Ryan's talking about how he felt sorry for Devin Haney. All right, so here we go. Here's a video where Ryan talks about how he felt sorry for Devin Haney. He was afraid that he was going to kill the guy. Here it is.
Is this going to be the moment I stop him? That's just all I was thinking. I shouldn't have put too much pressure on myself to stop him. Because every time I heard him, I just went crazy and I just couldn't finish him. But I think what's his name? Harvey Dog? I think he was tripping. He should have stopped the fight.
He should have been stopped the first.
It was bad. He was really hurt. And I felt bad. I even looked at people. 11th round, 12th round. Like, you probably should stop this.
So he says he looked at Bill Haney and he said, "You probably should stop this." This is what this kid did. He just completely outclassed this guy to the point that he was taking it easy on him, like Manny Pacquiao level kind of, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto kind of stuff. Like, dude, I don't, or Margarito, where he's like, I don't want to hit this guy anymore. I'm going to kill him.
He didn't.
So basically, Ryan has more of a heart for this guy, Devin Haney, who's always disrespected him. He has more of a heart for that kid than his own father has. His father would have allowed his son to die in that ring, where Ryan is over here. I mean, what if Ryan wouldn't have taken it easy on Haney? He might have killed him.
You're Raheem, seconds out. I am curious what you did think overall of the referee's performance, particularly in the 7th round.
Horrible. He was a horrible round.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was
He's horrible.
holding me for dear life, and I found an opportunity to keep swinging while my hands were free, and I cracked him, and then he took point away when I cracked him. But he held me, and then, I should have knocked him out in that 7th round. They stole that from me.
Yeah, the referee was horrible. I think everybody in the arena saw it was horrible. He should have been stopped the first time, and Devin was holding, and Ryan got a point deducted for it. That was ridiculous.
That was crazy. I never seen that.
Exactly. People don't understand that excessive holding is not in the rules. It's against the rules of the sport. It's in the rules, but it's against the rules. You're not supposed to do it.
He was holding me, and I just whacked him, and then he was hurt, and I was like, yes, done. And then, point taken out.
All right, so there you go. There's Ryan Garcia pointing out that he is superior in every way. I mean, he basically beat this guy like he was a nobody. No one else wants to believe this. They want to believe that Devin Haney could have came back. What is he going to come back with, people? Yes, he had the left hook for a couple of seconds there, but it didn't mean anything. We're going to go watch some of the reactions from the pros right now, what they thought of this. Let's see this.
Pues yo creo que gana Haney.
Yeah?
Yeah.
¿Por qué?
Porque siento que va a desesperar a Ryan con su movilidad, con el estilo muy apático como lo tenía Floyd Mayweather.
All right, so he thinks this guy is a great superstar boxer or whatever. People don't know what they're seeing. They really don't. I think I'd actually pick Pitbull to beat Haney. He's just, he gets under the punches. He's quicker. He's more explosive. But these guys are thinking he's a great boxer. I mean, come on. Floyd was a wrestling bitch as well. But Floyd was better at pot shotting. He had natural abilities. He had pretty fast hands. Devin Haney does not have fast hands. He doesn't have a snappy jab or even a snappy right hand. His feet are incredibly slow. I pointed it out when I talked about the way he was hitting that supposed punching pad thing. I pointed out in the last training video of this camp. I had a friendly argument with someone in the comments, and he was talking about how that pad is actually good. It's that big pad they punch, it's one punch at a time. And I told him that's a terrible exercise that teaches you to punch very slowly because it's throwing, one punch. One punch. And so what they do is they'll set up a right hand and then a one punch right hand, and then they'll swap it down to the body, and then it's one punch. And it's just, if it's not done in an explosive way, it's not effective. It's terrible. And also, they weren't telling Haney to properly block. And when the guy's pivoting and turning to the right, Haney just slowly turns his body and then throws one punch. You don't train that way. You want to train the way like Manny Pacquiao does, where Freddie Roach is wearing the bodyguard and then he's got the pads, right? And so they're very explosive and they're always moving. So Freddie Roach is turning around Manny, right? He's running and circling him laterally, and bam, Manny Pacquiao is throwing a left hook to the body, He's throwing a straight left hand, right hook to the body. And he's just mixing, just constant movement, reactive. Rolling the punches, just constant. Not this, if you want to, they say that stupid pad is for power. But look, if you're going to train for power, just hit the fucking heavy bag or spar. You just spar. And also, if you're going to be throwing body punches on the guy when he's wearing that body protector, he's going to tell you, say, bro, you punch him really hard. But look, why is it that a pro level fighter is still working on his power in that way? He's working on this dumb pad. And I said it's a terrible way to train, that stupid big pad thing. And you don't see any of the great fighters using that thing. No one. They're all using, they're using the pads or they're using the body protector. No one's doing this stupid, big, dumb thing they call a power pad. Look, I'm pretty sure the Chinese company that makes those stupid punching pads is having a great time and they're really loving the money they're making. But I don't think it's a great exercise for boxing unless it's very explosive. You hit the guy, you pivot very fast. So when the guy moves laterally, boom, you just turn real quick and boom, you hit him with a shot. It's got to be instant. It's got to be snappy. It's got to be quick, because that's what fighting is. You want to be first many times. And if you're not, you want to be very, very, very reactive. So maybe you swoop over the head with a shot, you go under it, and bam, you just hit it immediately. And I noticed this lazy training from both Tank Davis and Devin Haney. So a fighter like a high output fighter like a Navarrete or like a Pitbull Cruz or like a Ryan Garcia is going to be a really, really, really hard fight for a slow, lazy fighter like a Devin Haney or a Tank Davis or even a Floyd Mayweather. He was another guy that fought and many times fought in a very lazy style. Let's watch the rest of this.
Oh, really?
He's a young kid. I think he's 25 years old, made a lot of money, making a lot of money, becoming very popular, famous at a young age is dangerous. I gradually kind of became more popular since I was 22, 23, 24, kind of grew up in the spotlight. And, thankfully I didn't make that much money. If I would have made as much money as I'm making now, when I was 23, 24, 25, it's hard to say how you turn out. It's just, money, fame goes to your head. Seems like he's kind of doesn't have good people around him. And you need good people around you. You need to, stay focused to be able to continue to rise. Not that he can't do it. Maybe he's going through.
It's obvious he had good people around him. I mean, this is coming from a guy, Sugar Sean O'Malley, who has a wife and a girlfriend. Okay, bro, you're talking about good people around you. Ryan had one wife. I think he has more than one kid. He doesn't have a wife and a girlfriend. He doesn't have either one right now. He said it himself. He was very stressed out. He actually cared, about having his wife, and he was kind of hurt. So he got into a little bit of boozing up, I guess. But I think he has some good people around him. I think Oscar cares for him. I think B-Hop, I think his trainer. He's even said that his trainer is like his dad. So that's a good thing. He also keeps his parents around him. When do you see Sugar Sean's parents around him? This kid literally keeps his parents around him.
Focused to be able to continue to rise. Not that he can't do it. Maybe he's going through a little phase, but you never know.
Ryan versus Devin.
I think Devin, he's in the better mindset, and he's on a upward hill.
Is there any way that Ryan can win the fight?
Which one?
Good to see you.
See you, bro.
All right, people. A lot of times boxers are not the best judges of who's going to win these fights. Like I saw right at the weigh-in, Oscar De La Hoya was literally saying that Ryan he has only 3 rounds to win this fight. So he was really underestimating how good Ryan is. Where B-Hop came out and he said the key to this was patience. And and I agreed 100%. This is what Ryan always has to do. He has to be patient, especially when you're fighting anyone, really when you're fighting anyone, because the kid has the ability to walk you onto shots. He's very explosive. He's got very fast, very powerful punches. So that's really one of the things he should do in every fight. He should let you be the bull. That's what you got to do with it. You got to be the bull and you got to be reactive. That's all. He does that. He could beat anybody if he does that. It doesn't matter if it's Boots Ennis or Terrence Crawford or any of them. He can beat any of these guys. And people say that's crazy, but if he goes up in weight, people, you're going to see Terrence Crawford sleeping, I think. You're also going to probably see Boots Ennis sleeping. This kid ain't done, man. He ain't done in the sport. He's just building.
Let's talk about that Devin Haney-Ryan Garcia fight. It's coming up in a few days. A lot has been made of this promotion and the back and forth that's been going on. But let's talk about what's going to transpire in the ring. How do you see this fight unfolding come April 20th?
Wait a minute. I got to drink a little bit of this coffee. Y'all must have forgot.
Okay.
Well, the good thing about it, they fought 3 times as amateurs. They both are well familiar with one another, right? That means that you probably won't get no early round stoppage. You probably won't get too much early round action. We'll get action, but it shouldn't be nothing that we don't expect. The longer the fight goes, the more we're gonna figure out who has grown as a professional and who has not. You know what I'm saying? Because professional.
So that's exactly what I said. I said that this fight was going to show who had translated their skills, like whose skills translated better to the pro leagues. And Ryan obviously had the better. He had the better skills. He was more explosive. He has the power. Yada yada yada. I've already said it.
It's different from amateur boxing. And when you start to find that out is when the rounds start to get longer, you find out who developed and who has not developed as a professional. And that's what this fight is going to show us.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Ryan has the skill sets to compete with Devin at that high level?
Well, I ain't gonna say he had the skill set. What I'm gonna say is that he knows him well enough, and if he competed with him as an amateur, then I'm sure he's gonna be able to get close to competing with him as a pro. It's just a matter of who can hold on the longest. And like I say, the storyline will be who has better developed as a professional. That's what the storyline will be.
I'm gonna end it right there. Yes, I'm gonna go a little more forward, but let's listen to some more predictions. This is a long video. I'm gonna go forward and listen to a couple more of these, and we're gonna go and look at some of the reactions of the boxing community, fans, and all that, and see what their responses are to this.
The boxing fans, the fight fans out there that are excited about it.
Well, I honestly, I've enjoyed watching Ryan grow over the years. It just seems like to me, Devin Haney has had harder fights. He has had more challenging fights, and he's grown more. I don't know if I can.
He's bigger than everybody he fights, but real hard fights.
Say that about Ryan. So I just feel that it'd be.
I understand he fought Lomachenko, and I guess Camboso's. I mean, yes, yeah, I guess he had some harder fights, maybe. I mean, because he made them look hard, right? But I think Ryan would have an easier fight time with those fights. He might have a harder time with a guy like Lomachenko, but he could never fight a Lomachenko. Lomachenko's too small, I don't think Ryan could make it down there. He's not into the stuff that Haney's into, basically destroying his body. Haney didn't beat Lomachenko, so I wouldn't even count that really.
It'd be entertaining. Like, you'll see Ryan go out there and be flashy and throw his combinations and be sharp and long and stuff. But I think that Devin is just a better boxer. And
this whole thing, everyone's also, so she's going to say that she thinks he's going to win. I mean, it's always this thing with this boxer shit. As soon as people see a guy throwing a little poke jab and a fucking clinch, he's automatically a superior boxer. But what about hand speed? What about footwork? What about timing? Come on, people.
One of my sparring partners, and I'm in the war fighter he is, and I said it a long time ago that he is one of the best fighters I've sparred. Amazing fighter, has good skill, good movement, power as well. So yeah, he's really showing his class.
Since that fight, Ryan Garcia's called him out, and now those negotiations have started.
Yeah, I think he'll beat Ryan Garcia. Yeah. I mean, look, I know they fought 3 times before, and six times before, 3-3. But I think if it ever happens again, definitely, I think Devin Haney will take that fight.
The thing is, people, that Ryan Garcia is possibly, and I said it in one of my videos, that he could be one of the best. He's setting his legacy right now. It's happening. He's going to destroy all that Floyd bullshit. He's going to walk through all these undefeated fighters. He has a great opportunity to do that. He can go up and he can fight all kinds of guys, people. This kid is reminding me a lot of like an Oscar De La Hoya, but he's already so wealthy, so it's insane that he's still sticking around. So all these guys have a very low standard for boxers. This is why they keep saying Devin Haney's going to beat him. Devin Haney, they had a low standard. This kid's cut from a different cloth. He's cut from the Oscar De La Hoyas. I didn't really think it a while. I didn't think it a few months ago, but then I really analyzed him, and the way the kid grew on me, because he's not only, and people love this, he doesn't just talk shit, he also brings it as well, right? And he's taken on the big fights. He's taken on these the supposed best fighters in the sport. So he's calling out Tank, he's calling out Boots. People like Boots, right? So I wouldn't be, if I was him, I'd call down Crawford. Get him at 147. Make that your first fight, Manny Pacquiao style. How Manny fought Oscar. We'll flip that around. We'll have basically like little Oscar versus Terrence Crawford. That would be a super fight. I think a lot of people would love to see that, and I would pick Ryan to beat the living beep out of Terrence Crawford there. Okay, we got Gabe Rosado here. He's going to tell us his prediction for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
It's a matter of him catching that rhythm with his new trainer, and really developing that style of understanding his distance and his jab. I would like to see Ryan, even though he's calling out the big boys, I would like to see him get back in there and just sharpen up a bit before he jumps himself fight like that with Haney. But man, if he wants to fight Haney, then my hat's off to him.
What would he have to do to be successful in a fight with Haney?
Yeah, what I think is you need to it's an art in matchmaking. You should probably, your next fight should be someone that kind of mimics Haney, that style, just to kind of catch that rhythm. And, keep working with your new coach.
It mimics Haney. What does Haney do that's special, bro? All he does is throw a little tap, jab, and right straight. That's all he does. That's literally all he does. Ryan Garcia wasn't a moron because unlike Prograis, who sounds a lot like a tomato sauce. What is it called? Prograis? You should probably change that name. Unlike a Prograis, Ryan Garcia is not a retard. He doesn't just walk onto right hands. What he does, and I've said it already, he walks forward, he just stands right outside your range and he lines you up. This is why the Tank fight was so weird, because Ryan was just running straight in and then punching down at Tank, which is a really bad move. As a taller fighter, he should have tried to fight tall, and he shouldn't be punching down at his opponent. He did a little bit to Devin Haney in the fight, which, not the greatest technique, but he did it really fast, and Haney was in such a position that it didn't really pose a threat against him. But if I was his trainer, I'd tell Ryan to even slow it down just a little bit. Like, you got to kind of really look at your shots, because you don't want to kind of rush in, because when you're punching down, you tend to have your chin up. So maybe he should have bent his knees and kind of really tucked and, punch and roll. Like, he needs to change this a little bit, but I thought he looked really good in this fight versus Haney. He just has to just tighten it up just a little bit and maybe even throw a little bit more leather on him, just intelligently. All right, let's listen to the rest of what Rosado has to say here.
Because honestly, man, like, boxing is about constantly training and practicing.
All right, so Rosado's just talking about how maybe Ryan needs to fight somebody who mimics, looks similar to. We're gonna watch one last thing. We're gonna watch. This is the coach of Terrence Crawford's gonna make his prediction. The guy whose fighter is probably most likely gonna get knocked out by Ryan in the future. Let's see. This is Fat Man. It's a Nutty Professor, people.
More experience. You know what I'm saying? He's been in bigger fights, and I believe he'll be able to push him. Ryan got some speed, but Devin's smart enough to time him.
Despite what's going on with Ryan, what can he do to win the fight?
There's boxing move.
Boxing move.
Just boxing move. Make Devin come to him. Make Devin come to him. He's usually the boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it come.
See, I do agree with that. That's what you have to do. This is the same thing you had to do with Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather, he was the matador. He always wanted to be the matador. He was very poor at being the bull. So that's the kind of guy that you want to make him come forward, come at you. Like, if you go watch Floyd versus Miguel Cotto, you'll see the jab kind of just smacking the guy in the face like it was nothing. No one ever made Floyd come to them. And it's the same with a lot of these kind of fighters. These guys like to just run. So you got to kind of like make them uncomfortable, make them come forward. And again, for the millionth time, Ryan's good at both. He goes both ways, sort of like P. Diddy. Just kidding. Ryan does. I mean, like in the ring, he's both the bull and the matador. Yeah. So I agree with what the advice that Terrence Crawford's coach is saying here. Let's see the rest.
Make him get out of his comfort zone.
Why wouldn't he try to?
Look at that, take him out of his comfort zone. Exactly.
Go to Devin, like pressure Devin. Would that work?
Devin used to people coming towards him, so he's a great boxer. You know how to box. You know how to box on this.
No, he's not. The problem is that Ryan comes forward so fast and so heavy. It's similar to again, back to Floyd. They consider him the best. The thing is, a lot of these fighters, they're very slow and they train in a very lazy way. So I talked about going back for the millionth time to the pad exercise that Haney does. He's not very explosive and not very reactive. So when Ryan's coming and just blitzing in there, Haney's just waiting too long. So he can't really lay leather on him as he's just going in there. Also, there's a lot of danger in punching with Garcia, because this is what Haney had to do. He had to punch with him. That's one of the ways to catch him, because he's just jumping in. But that's a risky proposition there, people. You can get smashed with that left hook or with the right hand, whatever. And for some of these kind of cowardice fighters, they don't make that bet. They just turtle up, or they block their face and bend, kind of bend over. Just like at P. Diddy's house. Haney knows about that. All right, before we get to the comments from the fanboys, we're gonna get another supposed expert opinion in here.
I heard after this performance, they're saying Haney will beat Ryan, Haney will beat Teo, Haney will beat Tank. He'll beat all those guys at 140. I already know your feelings towards Matisse. You think Matisse is the guy that beats all of them, but does Haney beat Ryan? That looks like the next big fight for him.
Easy. Easy.
Easy.
I told you this before, man.
Devin Haney beats Ryan Garcia easy.
Now we know why Triple G dropped this fucking guy as a trainer, really.
Devin Haney beats Ryan just like he beat Prograis.
No way.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I think this guy watches Haney fights with his wiener in his hand.
Why?
How did Ryan look against his last opponent?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm interested.
Terrible. He looked
You thought he looked terrible?
He won.
Yeah.
He won, but really, compare Ryan's performance against a guy that's not on Prograis' level and compare Devin Haney's performance against Prograis. Two different guys. They fought two different guys.
I mean, Ryan fought, what was his name? Duarte. Pretty easy fight for Ryan. I wasn't into the weird shoulder roll, but it was a pretty dominant fight. He knocked the guy out. Did Haney knock out Prograis? No, he didn't. And also, Prograis is a bum. He's a bum.
Devin Haney looked like $1 million.
I'd actually say that Duarte fought a better fight than Prograis did. Versus a much faster fighter. And what's funny is at the end of this, Abel Sanchez talking all this trash about Duarte. I mean, Duarte looked better than Devin Haney looked. Duarte wasn't holding for his life. He had some success throughout. He was pressuring well. He was just getting, he's getting hit with that, he was getting hit with that cook while coming forward. Ryan was lining him up. Ryan was for the most part in that fight, he was the matador. And he just had Prograis coming forward. And at some point in the fight, Ryan caught him with that left hook and just finished him off. So it was. Also, Ryan was just working for the first time with his new coach, Derek James. So this is just a stupid prediction from this guy. He says easy. Really? When has anybody had an easy fight with Ryan? Maybe the closest thing is a Tank fight where Ryan's compromised. Like he's actually compromised. He's weight drained. He's got a rehydration clause.
Against a guy that's not on Prograis' level. So I'm not gonna say he's gonna destroy him, but he beats him because he's more skilled. Because Ryan is not ready for. I told you this once before, I think in a couple interviews ago.
Yeah, and I bet when they come back to it, this guy's gonna come out. He's gonna say, "Oh well, Devin Haney with the fucking the bow. He did the bow jab. People, that's what did it. Let's just get Devin Haney back in there." Devin Haney's gonna come back and say, "Oh, I ironed out my mistakes. I don't do the bow jab anymore. I kind of bring my arm back when I throw a jab or whatever." I mean, I'll say this once again. It's like the biggest mistake Devin Haney ever had in that fight. His big mistake was just stepping in the ring with Ryan Garcia. That's his big mistake because this kid has so much over that guy's head that I don't think he can ever fill that gap. He's always going to lose. If anything, he's just going to get knocked the fuck out the next time. I've already said it. If he has a ref in there that actually doesn't allow him to excessively hold. All right, we're gonna look at one of these fanboys within the community. One of the boxing, Devin Haney fanboys. I love to see these guys get put in their place. They don't know how to make boxing predictions. They just kind of fanboy out. Let's see what this is right here.
Turn on your notification bell so you be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this. Improved greatly since the amateurs. They debated and disagreed about the standard 8 count. Devin says he gave Ryan a standard 8 count in the last fight. Ryan says he don't remember that. He remembers Devin beating him, but he don't remember the standard 8.
Look at this guy. He's arguing a standing 8 count. So basically, you couldn't even knock the guy down, and you're bragging. What'd you do? Swamp him with little slaps?
Count or whatever. But this is the part that was very telling to me. Right? Ryan Garcia confessed and admitted that he's not patient enough basically to box and to fight with the game plan. He said,
well, he didn't need to. I think this video is he's talking about the build up to the fight, his reaction to it. And so now he's talking about, he's saying that Ryan is not impatient. Well, sometimes that works in your favor, bro. I just said it. Sometimes when you got a really fast, explosive fighter, the slower, sluggish, supposed great boxer fails to throw that counter punch, and he continues to fail. Especially when you have a cobra like Ryan, he kind of smacks you with that whip. Devin Haney, he tried to stand there with the beast, right? I guess I'll call him in this case. He's super fast. He stood there with the Predator, right? I'll call him the Predator. He's the Jack from the Titanic, Predator. And so he took those steps forward. Ryan, he didn't come in You know, he didn't come in too aggressive. He was intelligent. He was an intelligent bull. He came in, he stood right outside of Devin Haney's reach. Devin Haney was pawing in, and Ryan just snapped that whip. And these guys don't understand, these slow guys, that Ryan could actually paw it in, bring it all the way back, and just whip it in. That's very different from these other fighters. They don't have that explosive hand speed and power like that. They're very sluggish and slow. So, you know, it's just not like other fighters. There's this whole idea of, well, Devin Haney, he could box. Well, you need to be a very fast boxer and a willing participant, you know, when it comes to counterpunching in order to really do anything to this kid. I mean, and going back to the Tank Davis-Ryan Garcia fight, the reason why Tank was able to hurt Ryan was first because Ryan was drained. He had a rehydration clause. And also Ryan was fighting dumb. He was punching down at Tank Davis while Tank was in a coiled position, right? He was down low. So Ryan can't really generate that much strength from this angle. He's fighting tall and punching down. His chin is up. You know, it's just, there were some mistakes there, very easily fixed. For the most part, they were all fixed in this Haney fight.
His style, he just can't do what Devin does. He has to go in there and get to it. He has to get to the action, right? He said he'll get bored boxing. He has to go in there and fight. Devin explained that was Ryan's weakness in the amateurs. He said once he figured out Ryan, that Ryan likes to jump on you. Devin said Ryan beat me in the amateurs. He just came out there and surprised me. He jumped right on me. And after that, I said...
That's not what he did in this fight. He just stood right there, just right outside his range, as Ryan does in basically every fight where he fought intelligently. And he will do this in the rematch, and he will beat Haney again. Possibly worse if the referee is not on the take.
Footage, because that's what the way they think you have to beat Devin Haney is to overwhelm him, don't give him time to think, kind of, you know, take the Marcos Maidana approach to the situation, right? That's what they believe is the strategy to beat Devin Haney. So I believe Ryan has given up his game plan. He exposed his own game plan, which wasn't too bright. You know, you should have made Devin think that you know, was going to do something.
I'd say that Devin wasn't very bright because Devin knew exactly what Ryan has. Ryan has that left hook, and what did Devin do? He stood right there with the guy who has that great left hook. So Ryan revealed his game plan, and it still didn't matter because guess what? At some point in the fight, Devin Haney's going to have to step in the fire, right? And that's what he did. Devin, and I'm going to say it over and over again. Devin Haney's biggest mistake in this fight was simply stepping in the ring with this man. This kid is way too good for him. Just on natural ability alone, Devin Haney will never beat this guy. This is similar to like a Shane Mosley, Vernon Forrest. You know, the guy had him beat in almost every way. He just kind of had his number. I think Ryan will have a field day with all these slow plotting fighters like this. You know, this is the end. Ryan is the end of the Floyd Mayweather-like style. You know, the slow, lazy, mostly defensive fighter. You know, it's just never going to work for him. And Devin Haney, people didn't want to believe it. I mean, Ryan was supremely confident he was going to beat this guy. He was playing around the whole time. But these fanboys over here, they just want to build it. They didn't want to even look at the abilities of what this kid has. They hung their hat on that Tank Davis fight, and that was it.
Else and then try to surprise him. But most likely what Ryan's going to do is he's going to come out, he's going to box a little bit in the first round. You know what I'm saying? If he sees some openings, he will take them. But what Ryan Garcia is pretty much going to do is probably just like in the Tank fight. Second round came around, he couldn't wait, he got impatient, and he tried to jump on Tank, and it looked good.
The big difference is that Ryan was not drained in this fight.
For a minute, you know, the crowd was roaring. Tank was looked like he was overwhelmed, and then Ryan lost discipline, wasn't defending himself. Pop goes the Weasel go pop. He goes down, right? He went down, right?
And I say once again, they were all hanging their hat on that Tank fight. Like I said, if there's a rematch between Ryan and Tank, Ryan is patient and he doesn't have to cut all that weight. He will knock Tank out fairly easily.
Since then, Ryan has been on social media doing the most. You know what I'm saying? He's been up there talking about conspiracy theories, talking about 9/11 and Alex Jones, and talking about...
All right, there's the mind games and also a lot of truth in it. They don't believe it because, you know, they're stupid. The world to these people is it's two-dimensional, you know? They don't believe anything other than whatever the TV tells them.
People not even gonna want to give Devin credit this is what I'm saying. If Devin knock out Ryan Garcia, a lot of people not gonna.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. That was gonna happen. I mean, this big motherfucker can't even knock out Lomachenko. He can't even hurt Lomachenko with anything but an elbow or a headbutt.
I want to give Devin credit. They're going to try to discredit it by, oh man, Ryan wasn't in his right mind. Even though all these goofies run around now.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what this guy has to say after the fact. I don't want to make the video about this guy, but I find this guy really funny. And this goes to, more of that kind of, I tell you people, it's the racism. It's the it's the melanin effect. They just choose these guys based on, yo, bro, that guy looks like me. I love him. He's cool. He's the best ever. He's a virtuoso boxer. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Of course he's not. He never has been a great boxer. Floyd wasn't even a great boxer. He would just hit you with a pot shot. If he didn't have those fast hands and he ran his ass off, I don't think he'd be that. He wouldn't be that good. Even though he beat a bunch of old men. I hate to keep going back to him, but he's like the standard they've set. And Devin Haney is within that standard. He just doesn't have that kind of fast hand speed, and that reach. Well, he actually has the exact same reach as Floyd. I think it's 72 inch. But he just doesn't have that kind of explosive hand speed. Floyd didn't have the power, but he had a fast right hand. He was a fast one punch at a time fighter, but as a combination puncher, Floyd was absolute garbage. A guy like Ryan Garcia would have possibly knocked Floyd out in his prime, because he's just got such hand speed and all that. He's very fast. He's a nightmare for Floyd. This kid probably would have crushed Ricky Hatton. He most likely would have been knocked out by Manny Pacquiao, but we're not going to go back in time. We're just going to look at what's happening right now. And here is this guy. His name is 78 Sports TV. Nowhere close as good as Food TV. That's obvious. We're going to look at what he has to say after the fights happened. Let's hear just a little bit of this.
Field day, talking crazy, talking smack, whatever. Y'all do your thing. I'll block you out of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely block you out of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But right now, today, I'm gonna let y'all have your moment to talk crazy.
All right, some people are talking crazy, I guess. I think this guy, I saw some of this guy's video the other day. I thought it was kind of funny because everybody that comes into these videos is a fanboy of Devin Haney. And so it says here, so sick of us getting cheated and the world celebrates. Ryan cheated with weight. Okay, there you go. There's some copium right there. Devin Haney can come in every fight and fucking drain out everyone. Not drain them, but he comes in way heavier than them, right? He's coming in heavy all the time, beating up these little men. All right, and then the next comment is, would look to add Joel Judah to the camp. Always good to have more to the game plan. I guess, is that Zab Judah's dad or something? I don't know who that is, Joel Judah. Okay, so we got here another one of his fans on his page. It says, because these guys are all fanboys, right? They're all, most likely, a lot of them are very racist. They may not be openly racist, but they root for one, for people with the same kind of melanin or close to it. It says, salute Jen, discipline, Dev or wins, or what? Discipline wins. Dev's still the champ. Okay, discipline. So he got his ass whooped, but he still won. Which is funny. There was a video out there, Devin Haney with a cake in front of him, and they're still calling him the champ or something, even though he got his ass whooped. Hashtag still Team Haney. Salute to the mighty LDBC 36. I don't know what the 36 stands for. Dev saw that he could hurt Ryan, and strayed away from their game plan. He started following Ryan and stopped jabbing. I mean, dude, the reason why he got smashed with the shot with the left hook in the very beginning of the fight is because he simply planted his feet and ate a left hook, and it was through the middle. It was a long left hook. No, the game plan was, he's saying, oh, he hurt Ryan. He really didn't. Yeah, he landed a left hook, but Ryan ate it up and then ate up Haney. All Haney could do was hold for his life. He couldn't box that kid. He couldn't do nothing. In the beginning of the fight, right from the very beginning, Ryan stalked him. He was taking steps forward, stood right outside of Haney's range. Haney stepped in slightly with this really garbage jab. He overextended himself. Boom, left hook went through, right through the middle. Haney and Haney was also outstretched. He was outstretching that hand. He didn't have enough time to pull his hand back, his right hand. He was jabbing, and then he went to pull the hand back. Boom, here comes the left hook. That's what happened, people. He didn't stray off, no game plan. He was trying to box. It didn't work. And then we got this other people over here. Dank Father. He fell asleep behind the wheel. Yeah, that's what Ryan's left hand did. Ryan's hand did that. Devin showed major heart this fight. Devin may have lost in the ring, but most of his haters already lost in real life. What? How did they lose in real life? I mean, he's the one who lost. He got massive brain damage. That's not a good thing. That's real life. Okay, we're going to read some more of this guy's fanboys. What's funny is that they're literally giving this guy money so then they can vent out. They're all crying. They're all like Steve Martin. They're just like my Steve Martin. Let's see if I can find my Steve Martin button. They're all crying, people. They're all effing crying. They're like this. This is what they look like. Devin Haney is a great body. Because Ryan came in 3 pounds heavier. That's why. This is what they all look like, people. This is what they all fucking look like. All right, I'm going to read some more of this trash. What is this? Another one. Salute Brother 78. It's still Team Haney, but I was telling my brothers that I'm worried about the speed, power, and 3-pound weight that Ryan had. Okay, they're all going to bring up this weight because that's what they're happy with. You know, going to make an excuse, but what they don't understand is that there was a lot more here that was there that beat Haney. I mean, he lost for a multitude of reasons. What about it? And here's another comment. What about it, Ryan turning his back constantly? How can Devin fight against that? Well, these guys have no problem with Floyd doing that. You know, he turned his back. He kind of just turns to the side and was blocking, and he was using the ref to break the action. He didn't do it very much in the fight. I mean, what about Haney excessively clinching? Is that not a problem? Okay, we got another comment over here. The Village Brother, he spends $5 so that he could say it's still DHP like K. Dot. Is that how you say that? K. Dot said, minor setback, major comeback. That's my favorite. Dev will be back. Okay, it's got a lot of faith right there. You know, he's very happy. Dev's gonna come back. He will, but he definitely won't beat Ryan. Here's another comment there for this guy who paid $2 to say Ryan said he's moving to 147. Dev doing the same? Question mark. I mean, how would he know if he's doing the same? Yeah, I don't think he said anything, but he probably should because he's draining himself just simply trying to make the 140 limit. All right. Okay, so still Team Haney, still Bomb Squad, still LDBC. Okay, so this guy's got a lot of faith. He's even a Deontay Wilder fan. He doesn't care if the guy gets destroyed. Devin Haney made that fight into a big old fucking stink fest, and people just don't care. Dev should have kept throwing straight punches. I mean, dude, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. You keep throwing the same punch, right hand, whatever, straight punch. I mean, Devin got caught with the left hook while throwing a straight punch. He was throwing a jab. He got rocked. Okay, so why would he keep throwing him? He was okay throwing clean, effective clinches, except excessive clinching. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. Oh, this sounds like a good guy. That's his username. All right, and this guy says Dev should have just boxed. He only lost because he fought Ryan's fight. He could have made it a Shakur versus De La Santos type of fight if he wanted to. Okay, I mean, didn't Shakur get his ass whooped in that fight? If memory serves me right. Okay, here's another guy, P Black. I don't know what that means. What, he pees and he's black? All right, I'm going to move Steve Martin out here. Actually, let's just keep Steve Martin there because these guys are just crying on this guy's channel all day long. So P Black gives $5 so he can say, makes me respect the Tank fight more. Tank kept that right hand to the face. Devin definitely let Ryan get in his head. Going for the KO was not good. I mean, why would you respect the Tank fight? The guy literally got a rehydration clause on this dude. That's the only reason anything did anything. Also Ryan fought like an idiot. But let's just say, Ryan's calling Tank out right now. Let's see him rematch each other. He got a lady over here who gave this guy $20 and she could say, Dev will bounce back. We will Rove King. Is that how you say it? Rove King over here, whatever the fuck that means. I don't even know what the hell that means. Am I reading that right? Salute Willie Earl. Great meeting you tonight. What? You're going to give a guy $5 to say great? What? And we got Rico Suave picture over here. People getting turned on. So right here, they got a quote from Ryan. Why would I force myself to make weight so I can be weak? Nah, I'm here to win. And so this person over here, this shows how good Tank is. Dev better stay at 140. This shows how good. Why would Oh Lord, why would he stay at 140, Haney? But look, Devin Haney was drained just making weight. Ryan didn't drain him. He didn't make him get a rehydration clause. And they're trying to give Tank. They keep saying over and over again that Tank is great, but Tank literally drained this guy, right? And they just keep talking about his greatness, but then they bitch about the 3 pounds for Ryan. And again, there was no rehydration clause. I got to say this a million times. And over here it says, I still love Black Jesus. This is just a learning experience. I agree with you, 78. Dev took a lot of punishment and kept coming. Yeah. And the only thing that kept him standing was his superior clinching skills. I mean, you should join the UFC. This is a black... Does it say... Oh, I thought it said black. I mean, this is a back and forth rivalry. I am sure that Dev will be back and win the rematch. Yeah, he will win the rematch by clean effective getting knocked the fuck out. Dev showed a champion's heart tonight. But now it's time to use all the tricks that everyone else used. DHP. I don't know if that's something. What is that? A drug, like a performance enhancer? So this guy spent $10 so he can say this. But no, people. I mean, he tried every trick. He tried rabbit punching, low blows. He tried everything except raking the eyes. I mean, if he could, he probably would. Maybe he'll bring some like in Bloodsport, you know, where the guy pulls the weird powder out of his trunks and throws it in the guy's face. That might help Haney, but I bet he'll be probably wailing away on Ryan's head after he throws those weird white powder into his eyes, and he still won't be able to knock the kid out, and the kid will probably knock him out with his eyes closed. Okay, I'm gonna go a little more forward. Okay, so I think this is the same guy who just sent money. He sent more money. Now he got $20. It says, for me, I ride with a fighter for what he stands for, not for losing a fight. It's hashtag Haney, hashtag Wilder, hashtag Spence. Forever. I know that. Salute to the brother, Bill Haney, as well. Yeah, Bill Haney, who allowed his kid to almost die. He dies. If he dies, he dies, huh, bro? There's just fucking fans on this guy's fanboys probably care more about Devin Haney than his own father does. Okay, so this guy, whatever. Let's keep going. I mean, this is the same people that keep giving this guy money. It's crazy how when non-black fighters lose, everybody act like they didn't lose and show the sympathy, but black fighters get turned into memes. I mean, I'm still seeing the memes of fucking Manny Pacquiao all over these forums, and it's like he got knocked out how many years ago? Was it like 10? That's, you know, this isn't even true what this person is saying. They people just talk out their ass. They make things up. Well, now we're gonna turn it into a race thing. Once again, I go on certain forums on Facebook, and all there is people making just exaggerating Floyd Mayweather, making it like he was the greatest fighter who ever lived, while shitting all over Manny Pacquiao, the far superior fighter, right? All right, here's the last comment I'm going to read. It says, been watching a couple years now, General. I never say none in that chat, but F it. Haney made me more of a fan than ever tonight. Gone be much better now. Yeah, he's going to be much better. He's going to be talking slurred. He's going to sound like fucking Spence. All right, people. This is the fanboys there. I mean, they're hoping for Haney to make a full recovery. I mean, he should make a full recovery. That'd be great. We don't want anybody to get seriously injured here. But the guy did take a huge beating. I'm going to get Steve Martin out of here, and I'm probably going to be getting out of here. Just give me one moment. Okay, where the hell is my crying button? I got to get Steve Martin out of here. All right. So it looks like a lot of people over here really, they got that copium, right? Is that what they call it? They're really trying to cover up the loss of Devin Haney. I mean, this was a devastating loss. The guy got his ass completely handed to him. All right. So I mean, it was a decent build up. It was a pretty good fight. It was exciting. For what it was exciting, but it was a mismatch. Devin Haney having some luck earlier in the fight with the left hook. Ryan taking that away with the shoulder roll. People crying a bunch about that, the way he's turning away, but it did work. It took it away. Nothing outside of the norm. I mean, Floyd did that for years. Yeah, decent fight. Pretty easy for Ryan. I pick Ryan to knock Haney out in a rematch, even if they make weight, even if he makes weight this time. But yeah, there was no rehydration clause, so I don't put too much weight behind Ryan not making weight. But what the hell is that? I think I hear Foobot. Foobot's coming over here. What the F?
Hello, Foo. Hello, Bob. Hey, Fu, do you remember how AJ versus Francis Ngannou had an amazingly similar art style to Fu TV, where you guys have your combat sports video game themed art?
Yes, I remember that.
It's like the UFC has now ripped you off. This looks strikingly similar to all the art you guys have created. You have a wall, two fighters, shadows bouncing off of them to create the illusion of a 3D environment. This is really fucked up, Fu, but we remember that you guys are the most influential channel on the internet. Remember to subscribe to Fu TV, and by Fu TV, I mean FU TV, not only the most influential, but the most imitated. And remember to subscribe to my only robots for the hottest robococks in town. See you guys later.
All right, thank you for that, Fubot. That was really nice of you to point that out. I mean, I've seen it. They've been ripping off my designs for a little while now. First, it was the AJ versus Francis Ngannou fight. They had like that kind of video game blended with boxing kind of theme going on. And now we had this new poster from the UFC, which is basically it creates something what I'm creating on my page, which is sort of like a 3D environment. You see the two fighters on the screen. There's shadows behind them. There's a wall behind them. And then all of the different, the text is all glued to the wall, right? So it's pretty much the same idea. All they need to complete them jacking me, they would have to put like, a brick wall behind the fighters, but it's pretty damn close. This isn't the first time it happened. You may say I'm crazy, like you said, Ryan's crazy, but yeah, I see this happening. People, they're always ripping us off. You know what? You want to know why? Because it's the greatest channel known to man. Once again, remember to subscribe to FUTV, the greatest channel known to man. You've just watched Checkmate, the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney breakdown. This was the post-fight, people. We're going to see you guys soon. See you later.